Let's face it, there's something undeniably fun about hurling popcorn at the screen when a terrible TV show or movie comes on. You know the ones. The shows that make you question the sanity of the people who greenlit them, or the movies that somehow manage to snag a budget larger than your hometown's annual budget for pothole repairs. Sure, we can dive deep into the world of cinematic masterpieces and critically acclaimed dramas, but let's be real for a second. The real entertainment often lies in the glorious mess of the bad stuff. Why do we get such a kick out of mocking these catastrophic creations? Well, first off, they're just plain fun to watch. There's an unspoken thrill in seeing something so hilariously bad that it transcends into the realm of so bad it's good. You can laugh, cringe, and roll your eyes all in one sitting. Remember the time you gathered your friends for a bad movie night? That kind of bonding is priceless. When you collectively groan at the same poorly delivered line or laugh hysterically at a special effect that looks like it came straight out of a 90s video game, you're creating shared memories that you'll recount for years to come. One of the most frustrating things about the entertainment industry is how often studios ignore what fans actually want. You've got dedicated followers of franchises, people who have invested years, if not decades, into characters and storylines. And then, out of nowhere, a studio decides to reboot a classic or create a spin-off that feels more like a cash grab than a love letter to the original. It's like they're standing there waving a big sign that says, "We don't care what you think." It's downright insulting. Fans are left to watch in horror as their beloved stories are mangled into unrecognizable forms, often leading to epic fails that are just too glorious not to mock. Consider the endless stream of remakes and sequels that nobody asked for. Did we really need another version of Ghostbusters or Jurassic Park? Watching these films crash and burn is like seeing a car wreck in slow motion. You can't look away. They're a reflection of the studio's blatant disregard for their audiences, and as viewers, we can't help but revel in the schadenfreude of it all. The feeling of "I told you so" is delicious when you know that your instincts about a project were spot on. Let's talk about the beauty of roasting bad media. There's a certain art form to it. It's not just about hating on something. It's about dissecting the absurdities and turning them into comedic gold. Think of the countless YouTube channels dedicated to reviewing terrible movies. These creators have built entire careers off the back of laughing at and critiquing films that missed the mark. They found a niche that resonates with audiences who, like them, are tired of being served half-baked ideas. When you sit down with your friends, popcorn in hand, and launch into a playful rant about a film's absurd plot holes or cringe-worthy dialogue, it's not just fun. It's cathartic. It's a collective release of frustration toward an industry that sometimes feels like it's lost touch with its audience. Plus, who doesn't enjoy a good meme? The internet has made it easier than ever to create and share inside jokes about the latest bad movie, and that communal aspect adds another layer of enjoyment. The joy of making fun of a cringe-worthy scene or a ridiculous character becomes a shared experience that can bring strangers together, fostering a sense of community based on mutual appreciation for the absurd. There's a whole genre dedicated to the idea that some things are so bad they become good. Films like The Room and Troll 2 have cult followings precisely because they're terrible. These movies invite you to join in on the laughter, the disbelief, and the joy of pointing out every single flaw. You start to realize that it's not just the film that's bad. It's the experience of watching it with others that makes it memorable. You can quote terrible lines for years, and the shared laughter becomes a bond that connects you to fellow fans of the absurd. This "so bad it's good" phenomenon has even spawned a unique subculture. Midnight screenings of films like the Rocky Horror Picture Show have become legendary, where audiences don costumes, shout responses, and create an electric atmosphere that turns a simple movie into an interactive event. It's a celebration of what makes us human. Our ability to find joy in the absurd and connect with others over shared experiences, no matter how cringe-worthy they may be. In today's digital age, social media amplifies our ability to mock and share our disdain for bad media. Platforms like Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram are filled with users dissecting and ridiculing everything from soap operas to blockbuster flops. A single clip of a hilariously bad scene can go viral overnight, leading to a flood of memes, GIFs, and commentary that turns a mediocre moment into a global conversation. This social engagement creates a unique form of entertainment where fans can join forces to critique, laugh at, and ultimately celebrate the ridiculousness of it all. You don't just watch a bad show or movie. You participate in a collective experience that allows you to express your thoughts and opinions in real time. It's like having a front row seat to a global roast session where everyone is invited to join in on the fun. The failures in the industry serve a purpose, too. They're reminders that not everything is a surefire hit. In an era where streaming platforms seem to churn out content at an alarming rate, the bad shows and movies act as a stark contrast to the quality that sometimes emerges. They remind us that the creative process is inherently risky, and for every Stranger Things, there are 100 flops that remind us of the importance of storytelling. Moreover, these disasters often lead to conversations about what went wrong. Were the writers out of touch with their audience? Was there too much studio interference? Did they just not care enough to produce something worthwhile? Discussing these failures can lead to deeper insights about the entertainment industry and what we, as fans, really want to see. For instance, let's take the infamous Game of Thrones final season. Fans were outraged, feeling as though their beloved characters had been sidelined for rushed storytelling. The backlash sparked debates about creative integrity, fan expectations, and the consequences of hasty decisions. It became a case study in what happens when studios prioritize speed and profit over quality and storytelling. The uproar served as a reminder to studios: don't mess with the fans, because they'll be ready to roast you alive. Nostalgia can be a double-edged sword in the realm of bad media. On one hand, it often fuels our desire to see beloved stories revived or continued. But on the other hand, it can lead to disillusionment when those revivals fall flat. Think about the resurgence of 80s and 90s shows and movies. While some, like Stranger Things, have successfully captured the spirit of their predecessors, others have crashed and burned spectacularly. When nostalgia trips go wrong, they provide a goldmine for mockery. The sheer absurdity of a once-beloved franchise being tarnished by a poorly executed sequel or remake can be hard to resist. It's almost like watching your childhood favorite fall off a cliff while you stand by, popcorn in hand, laughing at the spectacle. You can't help but feel a mix of sadness and amusement, and the urge to roast it becomes almost irresistible. Interestingly, while we're busy roasting the bad stuff, we're also celebrating the creative process itself. Every failed project is a reminder that creativity is messy, unpredictable, and, at times, downright disastrous. The road to great storytelling is often paved with missteps and misguided ideas. By engaging with these failures, we acknowledge the courage it takes to create, even when the results are laughably bad. In a way, the act of mocking these creations is a tribute to the artists and writers who dared to dream big. They took risks, and while some may have stumbled spectacularly, their efforts remind us that creativity can lead to unexpected places, some of which are hilariously entertaining. It's a reminder that in the grand tapestry of storytelling, every thread, even the frayed ones, has its place. At the end of the day, mocking terrible TV shows and movies is more than just a pastime. It's a form of entertainment that brings us together. We share a love for good storytelling, and when studios ignore our wants, the resulting disasters become the punchlines of our collective jokes. It's like we're all part of a secret club, laughing at the absurdity of what's out there while championing the media that genuinely resonates with us. So, the next time you find yourself watching a cringe-worthy show or movie, don't be ashamed to laugh, groan, and poke fun at it. Embrace the chaos, gather your friends, and turn that viewing experience into a night filled with laughter and memorable moments. After all, it's the terrible stuff that makes the good stuff shine even brighter. In a world where quality often feels sidelined, let's keep the tradition of mocking bad media alive. It not only entertains us but serves as a reminder that we, the fans,